Yeah, for sure. Okay, now let's switch gears to. Well, you said you want to go in house. What was the biggest, I guess, tech company that you worked for in house?
Lyft. So Lyft was definitely like my, whatever. I mean, we in Dallas, so like if you're an NFL player and you trying to get your name in something big time and you get to play for the Cowboys, like that's for me. Like Lyft was like my Dallas Cowboys, right? Like that's sort of the shining point on my resume. Although I've worked with a lot of great companies, like that one was like most notable. When I joined them, they was actually like number one startup on LinkedIn. So like I joined at a time when they had all this buzz recruiting. I ain't gonna say recruiting was a breeze, but like we didn't even have to source that much because so many people was applying to us, and so like we just spent most of our time in ATS, trying to find the best people. We were well funded, like we was on our way to IPO, and so like if we did find the right person, comp wasn't an issue. Like they'll throw more bonus at them, more equity, and so when you got all those different sort of wheels turning in your favor, like that's when recruiting is fun. Like that was a time in my career where recruiting wasn't stressful. Like we was having fun as a team.
Yeah.
We was finding good people.
I think everything was more lax then too. What year was
What?
this? I mean, what years?
I joined in 2018.
Okay.
And stayed through. I think I left in 23.
Yeah. So I think but that period between probably like 2019, 2022 was probably like the more lax hiring thing that.
Everything before COVID, like COVID was.
I'm saying even during COVID, people was just getting hired to get hired.
It did. It was so COVID had like some quick swings.
Exactly.
Like it like shut down in a day, then it turned on in a day, and just like we back at it. Cause like I remember probably like 2021 to be a recruiter, like he was popping. Like when I tell you my inbox was, I mean, at least like daily, I was getting hit up by like 3 or 4 like good tech companies saying like, "Hey, like we hiring, we building out our team. Like, come join us, come be a team lead, come do all this stuff." It was a good time to be in it because everybody was trying to like rebound from all the layoffs from COVID, and it was just like this resurgence of like capital in all these different tech companies and stuff like that, and they had laid everybody off, so they were trying to catch back up and hire everybody back and. At the sort of the goals and at the speed they wish they could hire people back just didn't balance with really a thorough interview process, and so that's why so many people was able to get into tech too, because like we really just had to do like pooled hiring, right? Like you just get as many candidates, qualify them, run them through like the same process, and then like just kind of set a bar, and if anybody came in above that bar, like send them an offer. Like, and that's how quickly we was trying to hire. So it was a time. It was a time to get in.
Because you had the videos.
Easy come, easy go, though. Yeah, that was the thing. Because before that, we was flying everybody in before we extend offers. Like you had to do it in person. And so once COVID hit, it's like we're gonna do everything video, and so that made everything that much more faster. So yeah, I mean it was dope. It was dope while it lasted.
Yeah. Now you may not remember this, but I want to ask you, like, being an employee, what's like the worst either applicant, screening call, or whatever thing that you've had to deal with as a recruiter?
I think the worst is just kind of when you get on a call, when it's actually can go 2 ways. Like you get on a call and then like the candidate's just kind of like an asshole, right? Like they just. And the situation you're in is this person's being an asshole because they know that they're qualified for the role. And so like you almost got to put up with the attitude because you do want to submit them, right? And so like you kind of have to play that game of, all right, like let me not be completely dismissive to your attitude or how you doing. Like let me try to bring things back to where like, no, we think you'll be a good fit. And let me try to sell you on the opportunity because you already know you don't need us. And so you have to go into the mode of really like trying to convince them like why it's worth their time to actually go through this process, because you can't oversell it too and just be like, you don't have to actually go through these steps of interviewing. And so like for me, like those are tough for me because I don't like dealing with them. And you know they're gonna be a headache throughout the entire process. Like that's what it comes down to. Even when they get an offer, they kind of stall on responding, or they go crazy with the counter, or they like literally it'd be people like trying to change company policy around like what works for them. And when you at a larger company, startups, it isn't that bad because you can still, you can kind of make up whatever you want to do when you just starting out at a company. If your company is less than 30 people, what's the rule? Like people just kind of doing what they want to do anyway. But when you get into those organizations that's like 1,000 plus, like we have policies, procedures, a handbook, and so when you start asking for stuff that goes against the handbook, it's like, come on, man, like you doing a lot right now. So those are kind of like the worst candidates to deal with. But honestly, I don't have like a horror story to where like, oh man, like that almost broke me. Like it just be like the consistent drip of candidates that kind of wear you down. And it's like, man, I don't want to deal with this again. Like type of deal.
And what he's like what, like software engineers or
the technical folks are definitely the more difficult to deal with.
I would agree.
I think, but the pendulum always swings, right? Like now, tech folks are a lot more humble because AI is able to do a lot of this tech stuff that at one point in time was like only they could do it, right? Like no one else was even out here trying to attempt to do what they could do. And so now, like you or a recruiter would get hit up with a lot of people being a lot more humble around, like, hey, like I'm looking for this, I'm open, I'm flexible, I can relocate. Like, I mean, they kind of laying it all out there. But yeah, just the sort of just the cost and the quality of tech skills, throughout the last, I would say like decade, just kind of ebbs and flows, right? And so it's good for a person to understand when they're kind of at that peak of what their value is to an organization, and so they're able to kind of make those demands.